Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make the pizza crust I've been talking about, and as you look around, this is not my kitchen, is it? This is my daughter's kitchen. I'm up here. My grandson's going to have tonsillectomy today, and I wanted to help out with the food, and I wanted to get it cooked before I came. Didn't happen, so we're doing it today. But I'm going to have the pizza crust. Now, what I'm putting in today is going to be a little bit different than what you will use, because I'm like doubling or 1.5 times the recipe, but I'll have the recipe down in the instructions. And so let's get started. Okay, right here is, in this bag, I have the riced cauliflower, and it's cooked, and you have to just make sure you squeeze all the water out. And you just have to, the more you get out of it, the better your crust will be. I first made this a long time ago. I found a keto cauliflower crust recipe, and of course there's the THM crust recipe too. But what I find with myself is I can't handle all that dairy. I think it causes a little inflammation, but also it's too heavy, because this recipe originally had eggs and just all eggs, and it had coconut flour. Well, what I've done is I've worked on it to where it has an egg and egg whites, and then it has some coconut flour, but then the rest is the is THM Baking blend, or you can use some of the other baking blends you can make yourself. But this has got THM Baking blend and eggs. And also, what I find in the trick to making the cauliflower crust is you need to make sure that you have seasoning in it. I use some Italian dipping seasoning that we get at a store up here by her that has it's like an Italian dipping herbs, because if not, it's just not, it's going to taste more like cauliflower than anything. So you want to get something to kind of mask that flavor a little bit. But generally, what I would do if I was at home, I would use just a white tea towel. Because if you put it in this strainer, I have it here just in case, so we don't I don't spill it everywhere. But you can use cheesecloth, but I just find a flour sack, I think is what it's called, and it works about the best. But you want to squeeze and squeeze till you get this, all of it out. And this originally was 3 1-pound bags of riced cauliflower that I cooked in the microwave. Of course, you could steam it, do whatever you wanted. This is a workout, trying to get all this out of here. See, there's still some coming out. And this is like a nut bag or something that she had, but it's much easier, I think, with the tea towel. But of course, this holds it all in one place, so it's fine too. See, all that water still coming out. That makes you realize, one good reason to eat vegetables on your eating plan, is because they have so much water in them, which is so good for your insides. And they help to fill you up. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the crust and bake the crust first. And then this afternoon, when we get back from the procedure, we'll put the sauce and the toppings on them. Just one more squeeze and see if we can get any more water out. See, there's still a lot of water still coming out. Press it like this. And when you take this out, it's almost just like a paste, because you've gotten it so dry. We've had an interesting morning. They have a new little kitten, and we couldn't find it. We had it, it's an inside cat, but we were playing with it, and then we got distracted doing something else, and then all of a sudden we couldn't find it, and then we're afraid it got outside. They were outside looking for it. I was in here looking for it. They were outside having a prayer vigil, holding hands, praying to find the cat. I was in here praying, and then all of a sudden it turned around, and there it was, right in the middle of the floor. So it had just been hiding. Okay, let's see if we think this is about done. Yep. See if I can get it out. We'll just squeeze it with my hand. Not really. So you kind of want it to where it's kind of like that. Okay. So I'm going to move you over here. Well, maybe I'll just move the crust over here. Okay. Okay, to this we're going to add a cup of egg whites, an egg, clean those up just a little bit. Let me see if you can see. And then you're going to put a 1/4 cup of oil. It can be olive oil. It can be avocado oil. Whatever you want. And here's the mixture. This is the salt and the baking blend and the coconut flour. And then we're going to add the cauliflower. Now when you bake this, you're going to bake it on parchment paper. And like I said, a lot of the other cauliflower crust, they call for a lot of cheese in there. And like I said, if you want to try to lighten it up or try to be dairy free, because I am going to put cheese on top of it, but I don't feel like I need cheese in the crust and on the pizza as well. So see how that does? It's a bit more stir, make sure it's all incorporated. Pans, and they're lined with parchment, and we're going to use half of this mixture in each one. I don't know if I'm so good at getting this in half or not, but that's kind of close. Okay. And then what I do is, my hand's wet, and just start pressing it out. You want to try to make it as uniform as you can. And generally, at home, I just use one big baking sheet, but you can use 2 smaller ones, and that way, if people want different toppings, you can do that as well. It's important to make sure that your hands are kind of wet, because that helps spread it out. Okay, so you can kind of see the process here. Make sure that you get it to the corners and make sure it's no holes in there. Just like really spreading regular pizza dough. But I think the key is making sure that you get all of the, most of the water that you can out in it. Okay. So there's one. I'm not sure what day we'll get this video out, but today is Tuesday, the day of his procedure. So haven't done weigh-in Wednesday in a while, and I won't be able to do that exact one this week because I'm here. And clearly, I don't have my scales with me. But one thing I did want to talk about is, you know, our plan that we use is called Trim Healthy Mama. And we want to kind of focus on health. What kind of, do you notice when you're staying on plan and you're eating correctly, how much better your health is, how much more healthy you feel. And then when you eat things that are not off plan, which, you know, everybody does. I mean, that's just what happens. But do you notice how much worse you feel, or how much better you feel when you're on plan? But, you know, the one good thing I always liked about it was because, you know, sometimes when they go off plan, they think, well, I'm just going to eat whatever I want for the rest of the day because I've really messed up. But one good thing about THM, since we're supposed to eat every 2.5 to 4 hours, you probably can stretch it as much as 5 without messing up your metabolism. But 3 hours and you can be back on plan. You know, and I notice with myself how much better I feel when I don't eat things that are not on plan. And I think we can tell by this crust I made, and I've gotten exactly in half, but I think we can make it work here. But usually what I use in this is 2 bags of the 1 pound bags of the riced cauliflower, and then the oil and whatever, the other stuff. But like I said, it was so heavy, the other, which, I mean, it was good, but I'm a volume eater. I like to eat a lot, but if it had all that cheese in it and all the coconut flour, and that it was very heavy. And, you know, and I know that we don't count calories in THM, but, you know, there's payday someday. That you can't just eat and it not adversely affect it. But I mean, you can eat, but you have to choose the things that you can eat and eat the volumes of those. Whoops. Like I said, it's important to keep your hands wet, because if not, it'll want to start sticking to your hands. Okay, so we've got the crust pretty much finished here. We're going to bake it at a 400-degree oven, I think about 10 minutes, but I'll put that in the recipe because I don't have it. Let me see. It says 405. It says 405. 405 degrees. You cook it 25 to 30 minutes. And then after that, we'll top it this afternoon, which I have the toppings already ready. We'll put the toppings on there, and I use the Walmart pizza crust because it has no sugar in it. This summer, I'm going to try, like, you know, I talked about I'm going to do a lot of canning and stuff. I'm going to try to figure out how to make my own tomato sauce and can it that has no sugar in it, and it has just what I think it should have in it. Okay, so there we go on the second one. And we're going to put this up so you can see the oven.